Next Monday, a demo version of iRacing Arcade will launch so that all of you can give it a go for the first time. We've got our hands on it now, however, so I thought I would give it a go and I'll show you guys what it's all about. This is my first time playing iRacing Arcade. So iRacing Arcade, the driving demo. Very simple menu to start off with. We've got 5 different AI difficulty settings from amateur up to superstar. We're going to start somewhere in the middle. Nothing to do other than hit drive. So let's see what this has to offer. Looks like we've got a little cutscene to start things off. And our car is going to be unveiled. It is the Porsche Cup car. So this is a car we've already seen, the 992.1 Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car we knew was coming to the game. And Tsukuba, interesting. A famous Japanese circuit, probably made famous in the racing game world by Gran Turismo. Very well known, fairly short circuit, perfect for this kind of game I can imagine. And we're literally jumping straight into qualifying here, so I'm kind of guessing at the controls. Now, instantly, this looks a lot like Circuit Superstars, Karting Superstars, which makes complete sense. It's made by Original Fire Games. Now they're working in conjunction with iRacing Studio. And we're straight into our first qualifying lap. It's definitely like a miniature version of Tsukuba as well, so I know the layout very well. But it's all in miniature form, which is lovely to see. And straight away, try and get comfortable again with the Circuit Superstars style of handling. And yeah, it feels very much like a natural successor to that game straight out of the box. But of course this time we've got officially licensed cars, official liveries as well. This is like the Porsche factory livery. Small break into the first turn, a little bit of a lift. Now this driving demo, we've gone straight into this with no setting adjustments or anything other than muting the music to avoid any copyright. But you can see immediately it's going to be all about finding the flow. So it's not necessarily about driving the car in the way that you would around the real circuit, of course. It's more about finding the flow with the handling, finding that perfect line, and it's instantly feeling very rewarding. I've got a lot of vibrations coming through the controller. We've put it 5th on the grid, around about midfield. That's fine. Another little cutscene here as the car comes into the pit lane. It's all happening very, very fast. Oh, he looks quite disappointed. I'd be pretty happy with 5th out of 12. Anyway, this game, by the way, iRacing Arcade, if you're not familiar, it will be coming out on PC in autumn this year, so that's very, very soon. It will be coming to consoles as well, but not until next year, 2026. So you're going to have to wait a little bit if you're on PlayStation or Xbox. This game is the result of a development and publishing partnership between iRacing and Original Fire Games, the latter being a small family-run game studio responsible for the creation of the lovable and entrancing Circuit Superstars. It may have iRacing in the name and full support from the PC sim giants on all fronts, but it's the arcade part that well and truly stands out here. From all of the early discourse, intentions couldn't be clearer. So this game will not in any way feel, of course, like iRacing. The whole point is to be something completely different. Straight up to P4, you can see a slipstream kind of visual effect working. As we lift off, you've got the flames coming out the exhaust. 6-lap race. Now the racing on Circuit Superstars and Karting Superstars was always very frenetic. Very, very close-knit battling. You'll see overtakes, cars sending it down the inside. Sometimes you have 6 wide going into a corner, but it all feels nice and natural once you get to grips with the handling. And obviously, because I'm experienced with those 2 games, I feel already like I'm pretty familiar with the handling. Yes, I'm not great at it yet. I still need to get used to the sensitivity and stuff, but it's feeling intuitive straight away. We're still going to have to wait a bit longer to find out more about some of the details of this game. We do already know there's going to be global leaderboards, we know there's going to be multiplayer as well, and we also know there's going to be a pretty expansive style of career mode. We chatted to Steve Myers recently, Executive Vice President at iRacing and Executive Producer, and he was saying that this game's career mode is going to be sort of like if Mario Kart were to meet Sim City. Now, not sure exactly what he means by that, but it sounds kind of immersive and personable by that description. You're going to be able to take your humble garage to start the game with, build up your money, build up your budget, I'm sure, get good results, unlock things, and then grow essentially what is a racing campus, expand your team, add in teammates, all sorts of other things. So it's going to be a little bit more immersive than the Karting Superstars and Circuit Superstars career modes were, which were very linear. It was just a case of doing races, winning cups, and that was basically it. Big nudge to the 22 in front of me, a little bit of a tiny screen freeze there. Okay, I'm full touring carring it at the moment. We have health down the bottom, you've got fuel, and you've got grip. And you'll actually... Oh my goodness, bit of contact there on the outside. You can see the grass sent the rear of the car around as we enter the last lap. Now, instantly, if you look at the HUD, if you look at even the font choices and the positioning of everything, there's been no effort made here whatsoever to take this game away from what was Circuit Superstars and Karting Superstars. It is clearly, very, very deliberately a follow-up from those games. Try and squeeze down the inside into the last corner. Gonna keep it pinned. Actually, I had to lift a little bit. Bit of contact. I'm sorry. 100% win rate. We'll stop there. Here we go. Celebrations into the pit lane. Classic bow and arrow. I'm sure we'll be able to choose our celebrations as we actually try the game when it fully launches here. And we have a podium. We've got the iRacing suit, of course. There is the trophy and the familiar sort of cute drive avatars that you'd be used to seeing with all the names there of the other drivers and competitors cheering us on. And that's literally all there is to it. So we're going to dive back in, though. We're not just going to leave it there. I'm going to try and take a look at some other aspects because that all happened in a blur. I should also mention that visitors to the Sim Racing Expo in Dortmund will also be able to test iRacing Arcade in person on the Fanatec booth on Saturday the 18th of October. If you don't yet have your tickets, use the code TRAXION for 5% off. Link is in the description. Okay, so we're doing another qualifying session. I just want to see what happens off the circuit, because you saw the grass lowered the grip earlier. So going on the curbs, touch the grass, you can see sort of losing traction. There's still a bit of grip on the grass, but you can see I'm bouncing along it, sparks from the barrier, and then I really have very low grip in the gravel, so that's cool. Big difference in grip levels between nailing the throttle in the gravel and nailing it on the grass. A lot slippier on the gravel, or you just don't go anywhere basically, spin the tyres more. So that's cool to see. For those who didn't play karting in Circuit Superstars was the original, and it was actually from a top-down perspective, so you got used to the handling model in the game, driving from that kind of top-down perspective, whereas Karting Superstars, essentially, instead of feeling like a sequel, felt more like a karting spin-off, but one key change was actually changing the camera angle to more of a chase cam, and that's what we're seeing with iRacing Arcade, so it's going to be a more chase cam-like perspective, as we saw in Karting Superstars, which now sort of feels more like a proof of concept for this game more than anything else. We can look through our results with the L1 key. Can we change any camera views on this? We can pause the game. I mean, that's obvious. I'm just pressing buttons now. Okay, we've got a handbrake. Yes, we're pretty limited on what we can actually do in terms of controls through this demo, but we're going to have a quick look at the settings menu as well. You can see here the graphics. You've got quality, anti-aliasing, ambient occlusion, all the stuff you would expect from a racing game. Actually, quite a lot of detail there. Instantly here we can see number of replays to save, so that's a good sign. We're going to get replays. Languages. So even though you can see this isn't complete, we've got quite a few different languages already to choose from, which is good to see. Nothing in the controls as of the moment. All you can do is turn off on and off the edge panning in Campus and the vibration level. As I said earlier, I can feel the vibration coming through the controller straight away. I'm looking here and I can see a pit lane as well. Now, another thing from Circuit Superstars, you could pit your car, take fuel, take tyres and repair the car. And that was a big kind of gameplay element to the longer races. You could choose how many pit stops to make, you could choose when to make them, you might have to try and fuel save a bit to get to the end. It was very immersive, so we're going to test that out as well. As you can see at the bottom left, I touched on it earlier, but you've got a health meter, a fuel meter, and also a tyre wear meter. So as we crash into people like that, you can see our health meter going down, so we're now down to 98. Now different races and different vehicles, of course, will affect the wear rates on stuff like fuel and tyre. Sorry, Ian, I'm using you as a testing ramp here. Oh, a big kind of spark visual effect there as we made contact. I love the way that the sparks fly as you hit the Armco barrier and scrape along it. That's good to see. Right, we're going to make a pit stop, see if we can repair the car in this demo. Oh, and there you go. So straight away I've missed my pit box because I qualified last. Sorry, guys. We're going to stop in this space. There you go. Fuel in, new tyres on, car's repaired, and away we go. Okay, at the moment, the other mechanics aren't running out the way. I'm not sure if they will or not, but we're ghosting through them. That's good. Nobody was hurt in the playing of this demo. Right, I'll try and get my pit lane entry spot on this time, knowing where the pit garage is. So it looks like it's going to be where you qualify. That curb grabbed me, and I actually missed it completely. Okay, that was shocking. But look, if you don't park right in your pit box, the crew actually have to run and position themselves correctly. So that takes a little bit of extra time for the pit stop. So that's really immersive and cool to see. Now, will we ghost because we're a lap down? Yes. So in an online race, you can't ruin the races of others by crashing into them, because you'll probably ghost through them. Maybe that's a setting you can change, but at least in the demo anyway, if you're on a different lap to another car, you will ghost through them, so it's not going to ruin your race. Alright, come on, need to do a better job. I actually found that the curb hooked me in there on the last lap. Try that again. Yeah, so the different grip on the curb. That was slightly better, but I mean, I'm still carried too much speed in. Practice needed. I want to hit some more curbs. So actually, yeah, you can kind of hook your wheel over the curb and you can actually feel the car kind of bottoming out on them almost, or kind of being sucked in, if you like. A few tiny little frame drops here and there. I'm just trying to drive on the limits here, just to try and find out what the handling's like. And it's super, super intuitive out of the box. And it's probably difficult for me to come with a completely blank canvas opinion on this, because I've had the experience on Circuit Superstars, so I know how the handling feels. I also have the Karting Superstars knowledge to know how this perspective affects things, but yeah, for me, I'm going to pick up this game when it launches, and I'm going to very quickly get into the zone with it and start enjoying all the different car and track combos that the game has to offer. Speaking of car and track combos, early images and trailers have given us a peek at some of the content on offer. As well as the Porsche Cup car from the demo, there are images of what appears to be the JDC Miller Motorsports Porsche 963 GTP, with IMSA confirming presence of its GTP class in-game. We also have more real circuits confirmed for the game on top of Tsukuba at this point too. We have the Autodromo Hermanes Rodriguez, of course the venue for the Mexican Grand Prix. We also have Lime Rock confirmed, Barber has been confirmed, and I think we've seen Imola as well. So we've already got some really, really cool real-world tracks coming to the game, all of which are in iRacing, perhaps unsurprisingly. I'm going to give this one more go with AI difficulty turned up to Superstar, just to see how challenging it is. Now a reminder of course that as it's the demo, none of that is final, so I'm sure difficulty levels could be tweaked and things like that, but I just want to see anyway how the AI behave and respond, and whether I can keep up with them or try and have a good race with them. I did, by the way, just take a quick look at Karting Superstars just to see visually how much it differs, and actually there's a big difference in the colour palette. I said I noticed how pretty the colours were here, but I hadn't quite realised just how much more elegant it's been done. It looks a little bit less harsh, it looks a little bit less bright, and of course that could be time of day and things like that. Right, what result can we get from right at the back of the grid here? Hopefully you'll get a bit more of a visual on how the battling actually is with AI and how frenetic it can be, because I was right at the front for the last one. It's me that's causing the issue straight away, but that's unsurprising. More contact. But you can see the AI are crashing into each other as well. We've got to try and take advantage. Contact from behind has put me off. You don't want to be stuck on the outside in this game. You want to try and position yourself somewhere near the inside of the corner. Especially into the slower stuff. You can take a lot of positions just by firing it in right. A little bit of a bump there, but we managed to deal with it. You can see there's someone getting a cut track issue, so they ghost and slow down. Up into P7. Can't really notice much of the slipstream at this point. I can see the little visuals, but I'm not feeling a huge amount from it. I'm sure it's there though. And look, oh, we get stuck on the outside line and it instantly costs us a couple of positions. We'll race back through though. You can just see how the action never stops. There's two more cut tracks. We're going to sneak down the inside of the orange one. Yeah, nicely done. Up into P5. Okay, that time I did feel more of a slipstream compared to the lap before where there was a big gap, so you can feel it after all. You just need to experience both. Oh, leaving the door open again. No, thank you. Don't let that one through. Slowed down nicely for the hairpin. Go for another dive on the red car. Just got it done. Oh no, in the middle of a sandwich. Blue ones hit track limits though, hit the bollard. I'm onto the podium. There we go. Wow, that was just huge amounts of fun. Really, really good racing. Just one last thing I've noticed before we wrap things up here. I'm seeing a little NASCAR 25 logo up on the pit building there at Tsukuba. So a little bit of a nod to the upcoming NASCAR title. And of course, as time goes on and we get closer to the release of iRacing Arcade, we will keep you in the loop with as much information as possible over on the TraxionGG website. So head over there, head to the Games tab, click on iRacing Arcade or search for it, and you'll be able to see all of the information as it's released. And of course, we'll be making videos on this game too, so subscribe to this TraxionGG YouTube channel so that you don't miss any future updates on this game. But first impressions, very strong, pretty much exactly as I expected, but it was a clean start. I had fun in the demo. There's not much to see at the moment, but you can try it on Monday and see for yourself. Do leave us a like if you've enjoyed this quick preview. Hopefully you enjoy the demo yourself next week. And until then, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.